Welcome back to Long Dong Personal Truck Stop. It is a very crappy day. It's raining, it's cold. I wish I could run outside, but I have to go on the treadmill because it's so garbage. I hate the winter. It's freaking... Anyway, welcome back to Long Dong. We got to talk about... we got to talk about this guy named Staccato. And he's actually a guy that I interviewed on my channel. But there's a former YouTube channel called Staccato. And I don't know, I think he's an Indian guy or something, but I think he lived in Europe. I don't know, I'm confused where this guy lived. But he had a YouTube channel where he talked about individual stocks, not surprising. And his channel was roughly the size of mine. I mean, maybe, I think it probably surpassed mine recently because, you know, he's obviously making more money than I am from his Patreon, or he was at least. But he basically talked about individual stocks. And he had the long-term goal of growing his channel into a grifting empire. And, you know, initially, I didn't see it. But then again, maybe I did. So if you go back and look at my older videos, I actually interviewed the guy. I just hung out with him basically on my channel for, you know, a couple, like maybe an hour, hour and a half. And he was kind of, I remember he was kind of weird about the thumbnail. I was like, hey, man, I'll make the thumbnail for you. He's like, no, I got a guy that'll make the thumbnail. And so he sends me the thumbnail, which he paid for. And it's a silhouette of him with a question mark. And then it's me on there. And I'm like, why is there a silhouette? Like, you can't even see who it is. Why is there a silhouette of you? And it doesn't show your face. But then if you go click on the live stream, you see his face. Like, he's not hiding his face. So I don't know. It makes no freaking sense. But anyway, Staccato's channel is gone. It vanished. He had a Twitter, apparently. He had a YouTube channel. Everything is freaking gone. And the question is, what happened? Why is his channel gone? Well, when I think about this, I think about incentives. So what is Staccato's incentive to delete his YouTube channel? Well, he's facing pressure from something that is serious enough to make him delete a channel that was generating him probably decent revenue. He got ad revenue. He had Patreon subscribers, and these Patreon subscribers were paying a decent amount. I think maybe $15 a month or something like that to learn how to buy individual stocks. And at least according to his posts that I saw on YouTube, he was, you know, beating the market. Of course. Of course he was beating the market. Everybody's beating the market, bro. Especially VT, because it's US stocks. But all of a sudden, all that money he just throws away, and it's really weird. So the only thing I can really think of, well, there's multiple possibilities, but one possibility is that he got in trouble with some kind of government body. Because if you're making a fortune and you're beating the market and everybody loves you and wants to fluff you, why would you delete that lucrative channel? You wouldn't. It doesn't make any sense. So unless some like governing body came in and said, hey, you grifter, I see what you're doing here. You pumping stunks. Think you're so freaking smart. You just buy the dip on large cap tech and you beat the market. They crack down on him. That's a possibility. Like I said, I think he's in Spain or Portugal, but that's one possibility. The other possibility is that maybe he wasn't doing as well as people thought, okay? Maybe in his private portfolio behind his Patreon, he started to underperform. And that is a huge risk that every single individual stock channel faces. At some point, every single stock picking channel is gonna have a bad year. And you know what happens during the, unless you're a genius, of course. You know what happens when you have a bad year? Your fans turn on you. They will stab you in the back and they will stop subscribing because a lot of them will trust you, think you're a genius, and then a couple of your stunks drop and they're gonna get mad at you and they're gonna lose money, and that hurts. Losing money hurts. And they will turn their backs on you and they will mock you and they will criticize you and you will lose their money that you're getting from Patreon or whatever. That could have been something that happened behind a paywall. Like I said, when all the posts that he had on his channel, I would check out his channel every once in a while. And his posts would be like, oh, look at me, look at my little chart that I drew. And I'm beating the market. I I drew a couple squiggly lines with colors, and that proves I beat the market. Oh, yeah, I beat the market too, guys. Yeah. Oh, dude, I've 10x the market. I'm a strong man. Yeah, trust me, bro. Just trust me. Look at my chart, bro. But maybe he was sucking behind the paywall. The only other possibility I can think of is that maybe he got some kind of new job or new opportunity where he couldn't sell his services like he was doing. Maybe he signed some kind of exclusive agreement. You know, maybe a company picked him up like, wow, this guy knows how to analyze stocks. I mean, you know, they picked him up and, you know, he couldn't have his YouTube channel. That's the only possibilities I can think of. But basically, I'm kind of glad he's gone because he was turning into a grifter just like every other one of these freaking clowns that pretend like they beat the market, which, you know, in some years they do, but in most years they don't. His gimmick, here's his gimmick. I like to buy high revenue growth companies that are very profitable. And you look at that and you on the surface, that sounds really smart. It's like, okay, do you want a slow growing company that doesn't make money? Duh. Why would you want that? But a fast growing company that makes a bunch of money that's highly profitable, maybe that's the ticket to success. And maybe Stuncado knows how to pick those companies. Well, here's the rub. Once again, you people always seem to fail to understand the concept of efficient markets. You guys think that you can just plug in random attributes into a screener. I want a company that has 30% revenue growth and 40% free cash flow margins over the last 5 years. And you think by searching those companies and then buying them, that you have some special edge. It's laughable because other people see that as well, you clowns. But that was Stuncado's gimmick. It was fast growing revenue with high profit margins. And, you know, I could be wrong on this, but he was also pumping large cap tech. Wow, what a genius. It's just laughable at this point, man. Like, yes, large cap tech has done well, but you guys like it because it went up a lot. And it's the future, bro. That's it. Prove me wrong. So anyway, Stuncado was going full grift because I could totally freaking see what he was doing. He was basically implying that he beats the market. And then on top of that, he would have he was just like Tom Nash. He had like the comments from his channel or from his page. He'd have a comment from his Patreon and he put it on his community tab on Facebook and see, look at this happy client. They signed up for my Patreon and they instantly started buying high growth companies that had high profit margins because it's just so easy, bro. You know, just the market isn't looking at that. They don't appreciate it. It's undervalued, bro, because it's growing profits fast. And he would shill his Patreon that way. So now he's gone. So for whatever reason, either he got cracked on by a government body, either he started to underperform and that forced him to delete his channel, or maybe he took a new job that required him to shut all that down. Who freaking knows? But is YouTube a worse off place because Stuncado is gone? I don't think it is. Have a wonderful day. Cheers!